Everyone wants to look intelligent, few want to be intelligent, and that gap, the distance between appearance and realities, where society quietly collapses. Machiavelli warned us centuries ago, the most dangerous form of stupidity is not ignorance, it is pretentious intelligence. The fool who believes he's wise, the talker who hides small thoughts with big words, the man who thinks confidence is a substitute for competence. Today, these people dominate the world. On screens, in boardrooms, in politics, even in your own circle of friends. Why? Because society rewards appearance over depth, noise over insight, performance over perception. But Machiavelli revealed a brutal truth. Pretending to be smart is not just a social trick, it is a trap. And the truly intelligent, they do not waste energy playing the same game. They rule it by silence, by restraint, and by timing. Since the dawn of civilization, people have been pretending to be smarter than they are. In ancient Athens, Socrates was surrounded by men who spoke endlessly, claiming wisdom. But when questioned, their ideas collapsed. That's why Socrates famously said, "The only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing." In Rome, Cicero mocked orators who spoke with grand flourishes but lacked real depth. Machiavelli, centuries later, sharpened the knife even further. He saw that pretenders to wisdom are not harmless. They are dangerous because they mislead rulers, corrupt institutions, and deceive the masses. The fool who knows he is a fool is only a fool. But the fool who believes he is wise becomes a weapon of chaos. Here we meet Machiavelli. First great insight, the law of noise. The fool must talk. He cannot help himself. Why? Because silence would expose his emptiness. Because to stay quiet would reveal he has nothing to offer. So he fills the air with words, grand words, complicated words, borrowed quotes, endless explanations. Noise is his disguise. Noise is his armor. But to Machiavelli, noise was not strength. It was weakness, paraded for all to see. He wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does at last," meaning, the intelligent move quietly, strategically, while fools waste their energy performing. Look around today. The influencer who dominates your feed with advice but lives none of it. The manager who spends hours in meetings but produces no results. The politician who speaks endlessly but says nothing. Noise is everywhere. And Machiavelli would laugh, because he knew, the more a man talks, the more he exposes his foolishness. But here is the true danger: pretending to be smart doesn't just fool others, it fools you. The moment you start performing intelligence, you stop pursuing intelligence. You stop learning, because you're too busy defending your image. You stop listening, because you're rehearsing your next clever line. You stop thinking, because you've confused talking with knowing. And slowly, you become addicted to appearances. The approval of others matters more than reality, and reality, eventually, punishes you. Machiavelli warned rulers of this exact trap. A prince who believes his own illusions will lose his throne. A leader who worships his own reputation will be destroyed by reality. Pretending blinds you to ignorance, and ignorance, when disguised as wisdom, destroys nations, businesses, and lives. History is full of these pretenders. In the courts of Renaissance Italy, where Machiavelli lived, nobles surrounded rulers with endless chatter. They quoted poets, dropped Latin phrases, told elaborate stories, but when war came, when plague struck, when real strategy was required, these men had nothing to offer. They collapsed. Machiavelli called them the empty courtiers. They craved reputation more than reality. They served as mirrors, not advisors, always performing, never guiding. Sound familiar? Today's boardrooms are full of them. Corporate courtiers who dress sharp, speak in jargon, attend every meeting but vanish when real decisions must be made. The names have changed. The game has not. So what is the antidote? Machiavelli's advice is deceptively simple. Real intellect does not announce itself. It observes, it listens, it waits. The wise man learns more in silence than the fool learns in endless talk. The wise man listens not just to words, but to weaknesses. And when the time comes, when the room is noisy with fools, he speaks only once, and his words cut like a blade. This is not just theory. It is how power is won. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher. His writings are quiet, reflective, restrained. He rarely boasted, yet his discipline made him one of Rome's greatest rulers. Think of Lincoln, soft-spoken, deliberate, slow to speak until the Gettysburg Address, when his few words reshaped a nation. Think of Machiavelli himself. His book, The Prince, is slim, direct, precise, not noise strategy. But why do people keep pretending to be smart? Psychology has the answer. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Those with the least competence often believe they are the most competent. Why? Because ignorance blinds them not only to reality, but to their own ignorance. The less they know, the more certain they feel, and that certainty makes them loud. Meanwhile, those who are truly intelligent are often cautious, quiet, uncertain because they understand the depth of what they don't know. The pretender confuses confidence with competence. The wise man understands that silence is the truest sign of knowledge. So how do you protect yourself from these fake intellectuals? Machiavelli gives us the tools. Look for these signs. They use jargon to confuse, not clarify. They dominate time with talk, but produce no results. They quote endlessly, but create nothing original. They thrive on attention, but crumble without it. They cannot endure silence, it terrifies them. When you see these signs, be cautious. These are not allies. They are parasites feeding on perception, not reality. How do you avoid the trap of pretending? 1. Practice silence. Speak less than you know. The less you say, the more weight your words carry. 2. Ask more questions. Pretenders answer everything. Strategists ask the questions others miss. 3. Seek reality, not reputation. Focus on results, not appearance. 4. Read, don't perform. Build real depth quietly, patiently rather than showing off half-digested knowledge. 5. Let fools reveal themselves. The more you stay quiet, the faster they expose their emptiness. This is how you protect yourself. This is how you rise above. Don't remember this. The world rewards loud mediocrity, but it obeys silent mastery. Let others pretend. Let others perform. Let others chase approval. While they waste energy proving themselves, you listen, you learn, you position, and when the time comes to move, they will never see you coming. Because, in Machiavelli's world, and in ours, wisdom that must advertise itself is not wisdom at all. Comment, I stay silent and let results speak. Like if you've ever watched a fool dominate the room only to expose himself, share this with someone who confuses talk for intelligence. Subscribe for more Machiavellian power, dark psychology, and timeless strategy.